even showed you how you could own your own home and live in it and get paid to do that. And that's all on the heels of a very popular, very well attended a couple of weeks ago called our Fearless First Time Homebuyers workshop. Now we got our next one scheduled. If you're interested in learning about house hacking, from down payment assistance programs to the best lender programs available out there with literally as little as $1,000 down. And in fact, it's happened for less. But as little as $1,000 down, you could own a house, or you can come up with first, last, and security. In fact, today I was working on a rental property that started off at $3,000 a month. That today is now looking like it's going to be more like $3,300. It's a beautiful house on the lake with a pool and all the niceness of a great property. And as you know, properties are in short supply. And so think about this. You can put down first, last, and security of what I just talked about, or you can put down $1,000 and own instead and yield the benefits of home ownership, the pride of home ownership, the tax benefits of home ownership, and eventually, as landlord, the cash flow of home ownership. So it's really a no-brainer. If you can buy, you should buy. And what our mission here on the Real Estate Show here has always been, for the last 22 years that we have been America's longest running daily radio show about real estate, is for these exact reasons, because we're always there to show. And our mission, I can read it right off the top of my head, our mission is to empower, educate, and enable more people to own a piece of the American dream. And I hope that that's you as well. And if you would like to learn more about that, then all you have to do is text the letters VIP. That's for our VIP home ownership program, also known as our Fearless Homebuyers workshop, is where it all starts. And no matter where you are, if you don't have credit, we can show you how to fix that. If you don't have a down payment, we can show you how to fix that. And if you don't have verifiable income, we can show you how to fix that as well. And those are the three main things that you need in order to become a homeowner. And if you're coachable and cooperative, which is what I always say, that's all I need is to have somebody who's coachable, cooperative, and committed to the process. And that means that when I show you the exact way on how you can do it, depending on where you are in your particular situation right now, I can take you from where you are now to homeowner in as little as 90 days. With the more challenging ones, and a lot quicker than that, as little as 30 days. Sometimes people are very surprised to find out that with what they have already, I'm able to do that. So again, save this number in your cell phone, write this number down on your bulletin board, tattoo this number if you really want to be a fan of the Real Estate Show, 561-861-2366. That's 561-861-2366. Now, today I wanted to spend a little bit of time on our tools, tips, and techniques, because each day of the week, even though we're on 5 days a week, it's never the same show. And what we do is we go into a different aspect of the topic of the week. So our Monday's on a mission. We set up the topic, we define the topic, we explain the topic, so everybody is already got the same foundation. And then we jump right in on Tuesdays to for our tools, tips, and techniques, where we start talking about exactly what to do and how to do it, where to do it, etc. So you're not going to walk away with just theory. You're going to walk away with step-by-step concepts and principles of what to do. So, for example, on our Tuesdays tools and techniques, I want to talk a little bit about, one of the most difficult things, and whether you already own a home or whether you're trying to start from the beginning to house hack your way into home ownership and equity, the biggest problem, the toughest thing that everyone has to deal with, of course, is the mortgage, right? And if you don't have a mortgage, how to get it, and we can talk about that. In fact, we talked a lot about that during last week's edition. And by the way, all of the things that we're talking about here on the Real Estate Show are recorded. Every one of our shows is recorded, and it's in 2 places for you to go back and check it out. Number one And the easiest to remember is automaticlandlord.com. That's automaticlandlord.com. And go to the top of the page where it says the real estate show. And then when you click on that drop down, if you're here at 5 p.m. Eastern, then you're welcome to listen to our show live. If you want to come at any other time, 24/7, 365 days, you can get this radio show on demand for our pre-recorded shows. And you can go back literally over a decade of shows are up there recorded and housed there for your consumption at will. There's more content. I guarantee this. There's more content on how to buy, own, operate, and sell, list, you name it, lease option, rent to own. We've talked about all of these subjects. Put my 30 years of experience, and all of that experience and knowledge is up there on our website at automaticlandlord.com. Pick your subject, pick your week, pick your day. I gave you the format. Every single week, it's a new concept. Every week, it's like this. Mondays, the definition, the foundation. Tuesdays, tools, tips, and techniques. The actual things that are working when? Back in the 80s? No. Back in the 90s? No. In the tumultuous 2000s? No. In the 2021 market, the one that we're in right now. And as I told you, I'm in the market every single day. I'm talking to hedge funds. I'm talking to banks. I'm talking to all my colleagues in the real estate business, whether they be investors or whether they be agents. We're in the market. Then on Wednesdays is our midweek report, where I tie in our topic with what's going on in the news. Why? My favorite thing is Mario Lemieux, famous, Hall of Famer hockey player. And they wondered, how he became such a great scorer. And he says, because he didn't skate to where the puck was. He knew how to read and skate to where the puck would be. That's why we want you to pay attention to what's going on in the marketplace, because it's giving us, we're not reading tea leaves or crystal balls here. We're looking at the industry statistics. If you listen back to what I was saying from before, people were talking about the foreclosure tsunami that was going to happen as soon as the rental moratoriums. And we watched the moratoriums very closely. And as we watched the numbers change, and we talked about it right here on the real estate show. And I said from the very beginning, I do not see a repeat of 2008. And I gave all of the reasons, the numerical facts and data behind that. And what do you see right now? The moratorium's over. Where's the foreclosure tsunami now? There's a tsunami of pent-up demand, that's for sure. Now, mind you, I will tell you, because as we do read the data and the numbers, that there is still a large number of people who are still adversely affected by the pandemic, whose industries didn't benefit or let alone recover, that are still in a bad way. Plus, in even the best markets out there, there's always somebody getting divorced. There's always somebody dying. There's always somebody getting sick. And that's outside of the pandemic. And those hardships, those situations cause people to fall behind in their payments, not be able to upkeep the house, and then ultimately not to be able to afford their homes. And so as a result of that, what happens? Those homes either have to be sold in a distressed manner directly from the owner, or as some people choose to dig their heads, put them in the sand, and let the banks go do what they have to do. So there will be some number of that coming up. And the way I see it, it's not going to happen before the end of the year, because we've got sort of that reluctance right now, if you will, for many of the banks to do something going into the holiday season, since they've already been without the payments for this long. Some states have their moratoriums in place and extended the federal one, which is now expired. So there's a number of different reasons. So that's what that is. Number one. Number two. Then we go to our Thursday shows. And so each week it's the same thing. Mondays on a mission, Tuesdays, tools, tips, and techniques. Wednesdays, the midweek report in the news. Thursdays, we talk about the money aspect of all of this, because you can't have a complete conversation about real estate without talking about the money. Even when it's OPM, other people's money, it's still a conversation about the money. So you've got to know, is it going to be other people's money? Is it going to be down payment assistance? Is it going to be grants? Is it going to be, your cash proof of funds statement that you have the whole thing in the bank? One way or another, Even when you hear people say, myself included, somebody just gave me a house, that didn't mean that they gave me a house free and clear. It might have meant that they gave me a house and says, here, I can't take the payments anymore. Take it over where I left off. You see that done with real estate. You see that done with car payments. You see that done with a lot of things. And that could be a great opportunity to pick up some existing equity and then build it up as you get the systematic pay down of the mortgage. The 5-star the Fearless First Time Home Buyers program. We talked about the 5-star approach to real estate, and that's the income, the taxes, the equity, the appreciation, the leverage, and even just the equity. You saw we spent the whole week talking about the equity buildup. So anyway, that's the format. Come check out. There is more. I guarantee you, like I said in the earlier part of the show, there is more content and information than in any other. And I don't care who it is, because nobody's been doing it this long, this extensively. And not only that, and a lot of these folks, they're local to their area. We've been doing this here in the South Florida area for over 30 years, and we've been doing this nationwide as well. We've been to markets and owned property or bought property in just about every single state. And we have our favorite states, of course, but the point is here, there's more content at your demand for you to go check out at automaticlandlord.com. Go to the real estate show at the top and literally open the vault to so much information. A lot of it is also in written form that gives you an idea what to listen to in every one of those dates. There's a link to that day's entire show from start to finish. And while I'm at it, not only do you get 5 days a week of your daily dose of what I call vitamin real estate, on Sunday nights at 9:00, this show is rebroadcast from beginning to end of the week, all consecutively starting at 9 p.m. So if you want to get your mega dose once a week, just go there at 9:00. It won't be live, but it'll be just as good as live because it was live when it was first recorded. So here's the bottom line, and now let's bring this back to this whole house hacking conversation. No matter what, you've got a situation here in America. We love to consume. In fact, and we love to consume now. So even when we don't have enough money to buy something, there's ample ability to finance things, whether it's be, credit cards, whether it be installment loans, lines of credit, mortgages, home equity lines of credit, all of those, that whole plethora of options out there, which the result of it is, and think about it, whether it's the little purchases that we just throw on the debit card, or whether it's the big purchases on the credit card, whether it's the mortgage. Statistically, the average credit card debt in the United States is over $16,000 per person. The average mortgage debt is close to $200,000. And that means, that's the average. That includes all the people with zeros and all the people with millions. The average per person of $180,000. How about this? Student loans average $50,000, roughly 1/3 or a quarter of what people in real estate owe. But people in real estate own an asset that's appreciating. College, the college student debt may or may not be an appreciating asset. I'm not even going to get into that conversation because I don't want to get anybody upset and ruffled. But the point is, average $50,000 in student loans, which has been preventing a lot of people from getting into their first house, and it does not have to. Remember, 3 things: coachable, cooperative, and committed. Text the letters VIP. There is nothing out there that if you bring those 3 things to the table, I'll help you find the other 3 things, which is a down payment or cash, down payment or your collateral, or your income or your credit. Doesn't matter. All of those 3 things, those are the easy ones. The hard thing is to find people who are coachable, committed, and cooperative when given the right instructions. So anyway, we're going to take a quick break here, a few words from our sponsor. Oh, let me throw one more debt into the pile there. Average car loans of about $31,000. So hopefully you don't participate in all four of those categories: average credit card, average mortgage, average student loan, average car loans. But if you were to add those up and you were the average person, you would have over $250,000 to $300,000 of debt right now. And I'm going to show you how to hack your way through that when we come back. So don't touch that dial. You're listening to the Tuesday edition of the Real Estate Show. My name is Eric Willner. I am your host, and I will be right back. Boom. Let's see, who do we got here? Today I was doing everything off the top of my head, so I wasn't using my glasses. Twyman's back. How you doing, man? Larry, how are you? Any relationship to the rum? Or that's really with an A, isn't it? Annette, how are you? Darren. Text in where you guys are from, where you're listening from. I'm always curious to see where our reach is getting to next. We've been doing a bunch of West Coast and East Coast, and I'm talking about the West Coast of the United States, not so much just Florida. Oh, gotta talk about my interns. And welcome back. For those of you just joining us here on the Real Estate Show, my name is Eric Willner, and I'm the host here of the Real Estate Show, which is heard live Monday through Friday, 5 days a week here at 5 p.m., broadcasting from the eastern seaboard of Florida. So we're at 5 p.m. Eastern and available AM, FM on the apps, which means you can take us on the go on our website. So you can get us crystal clear worldwide, anywhere there is internet, and also on Facebook, which again is worldwide these days as well. Anyway, before I get back into our conversation, a real interesting one talking about overcoming debt in order to be a good house hacker. I wanted to put out there that we are looking for a social media intern, and I'm looking for somebody special. This time, our last social media intern sort of graduated, and then we kind of let it go for a while. So what we want to do is pick up and really take this to the next level. So we're looking for somebody with creative design skills, with content strategy skills, understanding, what to do, what gets us out there. And that's an opportunity to join the real estate radio team, a 30 plus year veteran in real estate, 22 of them live, uninterrupted on the air. You're going to be working remotely and sometimes from our studios in Boca Raton, but it's not necessary. So if you're remotely from too far away, that's okay. This can be done remotely. Skills outweigh GPA. I'm looking for somebody with a creative mind. So we'll have this conversation one-on-one once you apply. How do you apply? Text the word intern to 561-861-2366. Once again, that's 561-861-2366. You must have the following skills, though. Now, this is going to be an opportunity to learn real estate, and you could very well end up owning some real estate by the end of this internship. But you got to have proficiency in one of the design tools like Canva or Photoshop. Experience, obviously, with all of the social media platforms, namely Facebook, Instagram, of course, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, Pinterest, LinkedIn is another important one for us. It's marketing. That's really the bottom line. Now, this means coming up with custom, engaging, unique content, and we've got tons of content. As I mentioned early in the first half of the show, we've got more content in our back office than most people aspire to acquire in their searches for gurus and courses and books and tapes and CDs and cassettes going all the way back. By the way, I've owned probably half of what's available out there over the years anyway. And a lot of it, we get the golden nuggets, and we talk about it right here for absolutely for free. All you have to do is become a regular listener of the Real Estate Show. But the bottom line, again, is type intern. The phone number to text it to is 561-861-2366. Enough said about that. So as I mentioned, we're in a debt-fueled society. The biggest of the debts, of course, the granddaddy of them all, the biggest, in fact, the biggest financial obligation that most people ever have is not the purchase of their home, but it is the mortgage in order to purchase the loan. You may or may not know that you will pay back between 2 and 3 times the purchase price of your home in mortgage payments over the 30 years. And then, of course, I always like to say, and I'll take this away, the payments that you make over the 30 years, not only will they total 2 to 3 times what you originally paid for the property, but when you refinance or if you sell and move, all you're doing is starting the clock over, which means it's a lot more than 2 to 3 times the price of a house. It's going to be several times over the years when you keep restarting the clock. So the ideal thing to do, and that's why we're so excited about this whole concept of taking the house hacking, getting into a house somehow for little to no money, to be able to reduce the cost of owning your home through all the different house hacking strategies that we talked about last week. And then you add what I'm talking about this week, taking it to the next level. Now let's talk about how do you optimize all of your debt. And you've heard different strategies and techniques out there. You've heard about the debt snowball, right? And that's where you start first paying off the smallest debt that you have. So list all of your debts that you have and what their balance is in one column, right next to it, what their minimum payment is, and the interest rate. And the debt snowball says, I'm going to take the smallest balance and I'm going to pay that off as quickly as I can. And as soon as I pay off the smallest balance, now I have that payment to add to the next smallest balance. And so now I start to pick up momentum because now I'm making a bigger and bigger payment on each debt. What I like about this strategy is that at least it's a track to run on and it keeps you focused, right? So that's one thing. The fact of the matter is it's not the most efficient way, and I'm going to tell you how to find out about the most efficient way. And I'll tell you if you text the letter VIP to 561-861-2366, because that's going to be the next report. And those of you that already text that word, I'm going to send you the second report without you even asking. It's just going to come to you in the same email that you provided when you replied to the text that then replies to you. And it starts this automagic conversation. But that's one technique. The second technique is what they call the debt avalanche. And on that one, what we do is same list of debts, same list of payments, same list of interest rates. But now we target the highest interest rate, right? Because if I can get rid of the highest interest rate, then I slow down the current, which is like swimming upstream against the current, the interest rate. And as I begin to slow it, I can make better and better progress going at that. All that you're doing here is at least getting on a track. But I will show you the best track, and that's a software program that we use that literally will shred away. It's like melting away your debt like butter when you apply these techniques. Anyway, the music is coming in. I'd like to get more details. We'll talk more about it in our show on Thursday when we get down to about the money. But tomorrow we have our midweek report. So make sure you tune in again right here, same place, same time tomorrow to listen to the next edition of the Real Estate Show. But for now, this is your host, Eric Willner, signing off. Until tomorrow, drive safe and make it a great day. Bye-bye. So what do you think, Larry? So where are you from? What part of the country? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. What part of the country or what part of Florida? If you're in Florida, tell me which part. Are you my neighbor? Annette! Hope you enjoyed the show. I'm going to wrap it up right here. Let's see here. I'm going to turn that one down there.